People don't test you to understand you. They test you to understand how far they can go. Every time you interact with someone, there is something happening beneath the surface. It is not visible. It is not spoken, but it is always there. A quiet exchange of emotional signals. A silent negotiation of power, confidence, and stability. And one of the most common ways people try to read those signals is through testing. Testing does not always look dramatic. It rarely looks obvious. Most of the time, it is subtle. It can be a delayed reply, a small joke that pushes a boundary, a disagreement over something simple, a moment of distance that feels intentional, a sudden change in tone. These moments are not random. They are observations. Because when someone slightly shifts their behavior, what they really want to see is how you respond. Reactions are more honest than words. You can say you are confident. You can say you have standards. You can say you know your worth. But your reaction will always reveal the truth. When someone tests you, they are not trying to destroy the connection. They are trying to measure it. They want to know who they are dealing with. They want to see if you are emotionally stable or easily shaken, if you are secure or constantly seeking reassurance, if you're grounded or reactive. Human beings naturally look for patterns, and once they detect a pattern in your behavior, they adjust theirs. If they notice that you overreact to small things, they will either walk carefully around you or push further. If they see that you become anxious when they pull away, they will understand that distance affects you deeply. If they sense that you fear losing them, the balance shifts, not because they planned it, but because human psychology responds to perceived value and emotional strength. The uncomfortable truth is that people often test those they are unsure about. When someone feels your confidence is solid, they feel it. It shows in your tone, in your pace, in your silence. But when someone senses hesitation, insecurity, or doubt, curiosity appears. And curiosity leads to testing. It is not always malicious. Sometimes it is instinctive, almost automatic. A way of asking without asking. How much can I do? How much can I say? How much can I change before this person reacts? The real problem is not the test itself. The real problem is the emotional reaction that follows. Most people react immediately. They defend themselves. They explain too much. They overanalyze. They try to fix the situation instantly. And in doing so, they give away something important: emotional control. The moment you feel the need to prove yourself, you are no longer steady. The moment you chase clarity from someone who is simply observing you, the dynamic shifts. And these shifts are subtle. Respect does not disappear in 1 second. It fades through patterns, through repeated reactions, through small moments where your emotional balance depends on someone else's behavior. But when you remain calm, something powerful happens. When you do not rush to react, when you do not feel attacked, when you simply observe instead of defend, the test loses energy. The person testing you starts to read something different: stability, self-control, confidence. And confidence is quiet. It does not need to argue. It does not need to convince. It does not need to explain every feeling. It simply exists. Strong individuals are rarely tested repeatedly, not because they are intimidating, but because their boundaries are clear through behavior. They do not tolerate what feels wrong. They do not dramatize small things. They do not beg for reassurance. They respond with calm consistency. And consistency builds respect faster than intensity ever could. Think about it. When someone makes a small joke at your expense and you laugh calmly without insecurity, the moment passes. When someone pulls away slightly and you continue living your life without panic, the tension dissolves. When someone challenges your opinion and you respond with composed clarity instead of emotional defense, the test ends. Because the goal of the test was to measure your stability. And once stability is confirmed, there is nothing left to measure. Many people confuse emotional reaction with strength. They think being loud, confrontational, or dramatic shows power. But real power is emotional control. It is the ability to remain centered when someone slightly disrupts the situation. It is knowing that not every shift is an attack. Not every silence is rejection. Not every joke is disrespect. Sometimes it is simply observation. A quiet question: who are you under pressure? The deeper reason people test is simple. They are trying to feel safe. They are trying to understand predictability. Emotional unpredictability creates tension. Emotional stability creates security. And security builds respect. If you react the same calm way every time, people know what to expect. And when people know what to expect, they relax. When they relax, the dynamic stabilizes. And when the dynamic stabilizes, respect grows naturally. The moment you understand that tests are measurements, not attacks, your mindset changes completely. You stop taking things personally. You stop feeling threatened by small shifts. You stop trying to control every outcome. Instead, you watch, you listen, you decide, and decision is power. The final truth is this. People do not test those who are deeply secure in themselves. They test those who still doubt their own value, because doubt leaks. It appears in micro-expressions, in tone changes, in subtle reactions. And human beings are extremely good at detecting uncertainty. The moment you remove doubt from within yourself, the need for others to measure you decreases. When you know who you are, when your standards are clear, when your boundaries are steady, there is nothing to test. And when there is nothing to test, there is nothing to push. Because people do not test those who are trying to prove themselves. They test those who are unsure. The moment you stop proving and start embodying confidence, the dynamic changes. Respect becomes automatic. Stability becomes natural. And the silent negotiation of power ends before it even begins.